All right, it is definitely time to plant salad this time of year. So I'm going to take you from basically a blank slate, show you what I do to get to a beautiful salad bar. Follow along and I'll show you how it grows through the season. Jake. Just a little once over. Oh. All right, so that one good. I'll hand pull these, they stink. Hate these weeds. Smelly. You helping, buddy? Okay. Well, I am planning on mulching this a little bit if I need to. This is not the kind of mulch that I had in mind. Jake, if you would please exit the garden. Buddy, out. Out. Thank you. All right, so I did soak some seeds for peas, but not for very long. They're just these sugar magnolia snap peas. I figured I always grow these. They grow beautifully. They're wonderful. But I never tried soaking them, so. My salad garden usually has pretty much everything you can think of to grow a salad. But it doesn't always get ready all at the same time. So your salads change through the year. But these peas, I like to get them going, because they are tolerant of the cold pretty well. I'm going to just drop them in every couple inches or so. I'm mostly just going to try to fill out this row. If some of them are close together, that's okay. They usually do pretty well regardless of spacing for me. And if they're too close, I can always just eat them for pea shoots. All right, so they're all in this little spot. Just cover them over. See how nice that ground worked up with that little tiller? Did a good job. The only thing that worries me is all these little roly-polies everywhere. Okay, got that done? And I'll mark it with a little tag. All right, one of the next things I want to do is save some spots for my tomato plants. So I'm going to put some cherry tomatoes up here. I'm just going to use these old red Solo cups as marking points for roughly where I want to put them. And that way I don't plant a bunch of seeds right around there. And I can just pull these out and use those as placeholders for later. I am going to get some of the bigger leaves out of here, but I know I won't be able to get them all, so I'm not going to stress about that either. These seeds are pretty resilient overall. When I plant my carrots, part of how I do it is covering them up the first few days till they germinate. I just look around my garden and find old weeds and pick those leaves because I need to get rid of those anyway, and I use those to cover them up. And this will work really well. Use what you have is what I like to say. I don't want to go and get a bunch of stuff I don't need. I have resources all around me in weeds. Okay, I have got the garlic. Pardon that siren. We'll have a moment of silent prayer for whoever's hurt. Send some blessings their way. They're having a hard day. Clearly. Alright, so I have a garlic that did not get planted last fall. Happens. And I may not get any garlic out of this, But my thought process is I just want to deter any pests out of my garden. So I'm going to give myself a few garlic here. And I'll give myself a few onions in between them too. So we'll have garlic and onion on the outside of this little area. And since they're already kind of growing, they're going to be easy for me to spot where I put them. And since I don't care if I get any garlic out of them, they don't have to be spaced any particular kind of way. Got a couple possibilities. I'll put them on the ends. And here's my onion sets. These are candy onions. I just picked them up this morning from our seed store. I just got some sets. I don't always plant my own from seed. I would like to say I did. Sometimes I do, but I don't always get it done. There's a lot more things in life to worry about than whether or not you get everything done by seed. It doesn't have to all be seed. Much as I wish I had the good discipline for that, with me working full time, having other things going on, that's not always in the cards. And we don't worry about it. We just plant. And what grows, grows. Okay, set these aside, cover those over. Leave the little tops sticking out if I can. Try not to displace my radishes too much. I know roughly where I put those. So I'm going to plant some lettuce in between. Alright, so I've got French breakfast right here. Onions and garlic right here. What I'm going to try to do is just scatter some lettuce in between. And I've got leaf lettuce. And I've got some red Cimarron lettuce. I think that'd be kind of a pretty little combination. And I'm just going to put them both together. And I'm not going to care about rows or anything. They'll come up and make their own pretty little thing. Little rainbow row for themselves. So, sprinkle a little bit of this. Lettuce likes light to germinate, so I'm not going to cover them heavily or anything. And I'm not planting the whole packet, just a little bit. And the same thing with the Cimarron. Just kind of going over top of each other. What grows, grows. And good Lord knows what we need. All right. So I will put these together on there to remind myself I planted two kinds. And then wanted to try to find a place to put a little bit of this bok choy, but I may put it on the other side with the spinach. So let me just cover this over here. Just a little sprinkling. I don't want to cover it too much. This side is pretty much done for what I'm going to do right now. Here we go. Give it a little water. Not too much. And there we go. Okay. Now you see, I already have dog footprints in here. I'm trying to keep him from messing up my stuff, but it's maybe an uphill battle this year. Anyway, let's get some of these seeds planted. Got some spinach. Come right through in here with this little area. I don't want to plant them too close together, just a few. Because I would like my spinach to be a little bit bigger further apart. Not too bad anyway. Jake, get out of the way, buddy. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Somehow he thinks he needs to help me plant the garden, but he really just uproots things. And then the same with the Swiss chard and my bok choy. I'm going to come through and just do a little bit in the back here. So I'm going for some aesthetic and also some usefulness. Just spreading these a few apart. I don't want these too close together. They look a lot like spinach seeds. Swiss chard seeds do. I'll show you. See? They look a lot like spinach seeds. So if you stored them together, you wouldn't know what you're going to get. And then bok choy seeds look very, very different. Jake, they're not helping. They look almost more like any little seeds. We'll just sprinkle those right along here too. There, a little bit of everything there. And I'll just come through and sprinkle that with a little bit of dirt from other parts of the garden. So I try to keep Jake from messing with it, but it's all at least going to be covered up that way. And the garden wants to grow, so usually something will grow, even if it's not all going to grow. The birds need some offerings too. Jake, buddy, no, you don't need any garlic, dude. No. All right, let me get a little water on it. Move, buddy. All right. And with any luck, in a few days, we'll see sprouts coming up. We'll have salad by Easter. These are Danvers half longs. I'm just going to sprinkle them lightly all around this area, right along the back, because they get kind of tall. And I do have seeds left I can plant later. And I take all these weeds that I just pulled and I lay them across to kind of cover them up and keep them moist. Oop, tried to pull out an onion. There we go. That's pretty good. Same thing over here, just cover them over best I can with some weeds. Might as well use them. They aren't doing me any good for anything else. So I just soon get some use out of them. All right, everything's pretty well covered. Come back through, give it a little drink. The idea is I'll just come out here and keep them moist. And that way they'll germinate. Check them every few days. Works every year. Okay, so we got that part planted. It's a very small portion of a very big garden, but it'll give us a lot of salad to work with. This very end part here already has some onions grown from last year. When I harvest those, I will probably hopefully have some cabbages and things to be able to put in there. Might plant some squash to grow off the ends of the beds to let them kind of trail off into the ground. So we shall see how everything does, and I'll keep you posted. Thought I would show you, I do have a few little tomato plants started, just some cherry tomatoes. So we'll see how I go from there. That's why I saved those little red solo cup spots. So I hope that was helpful to show you how to plant a salad garden. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but it does take some time, a little bit of planning. Just one of those things that I hope to bring you along, show you as it grows. I like my gardens to look pretty, be functional, and take care of me as much as I take care of them. So follow along to see more throughout the year. Thanks.